Good morning, colors class. So I guess I should be wearing red, but I'm not, sorry. So today we're going to talk about red, and we're going to start with the meaning of red, because we think of red as a very powerful color because it's the color of extremes, meaning that it has two polarities. So our ancient prehistoric ancestors saw color as the red as the color of fire and blood. And so it became a color associated with primal life forces, right? Which in ancient days made it as rare and as expensive as purple because of its symbolism. So that symbolism arises today from its powerful associations to our past. So it has a strong historical, symbolic meaning. And then, of course, today, red is the color of love and romance, the color of passion, right? Seduction, Valentine's Day. It also, as we said, can mean danger and violence, adventure. It is the international color of stop, right? It can be seen as magical, a religious color. It's the color of the Christian crucifix. And it also, believe it or not, symbolized superhuman heroism to the Greeks. So again, a color symbolizing many different extreme meanings. Where does red come from? It doesn't come from a snail like purple. Instead, it comes from it's called a lac beetle, and I put a YouTube video on it. It's pretty cool how it comes from these beetles, and they were able to get the red dye from that. So interesting enough, I look at that, and I think I showed you a picture of actually the purple dye, but people get the snails, crush them, and they're able to make red dye. Now, interesting, I was in Peru, and I took pictures, and I put them online, because this is exactly where they do still make the color, and I put it on some of the pictures. You can see how it's used and its origins, and we see that it is the color that is most represented in the flags, like over 73% of flags have color in it, and it's, again, a color that is seen and means different things all over the world. And again, I put lots of different pictures up depicting the color, and the red poncho you'll see, which is kind of cool because the men wear the hats there, and as opposed to women wearing these colorful hats. History reveals that red is the color after black and white. So if there was a third color after black and white, the third color would be red. All languages have color, black and white, words for black and white. And so if it's a third hue, we're going to say that it would be red, actually. Pretty cool. Red is a favorite color for lucky color for marriage, as we see. In Naples, brides wear red saris, and Japan, brides wear a red kimono, signifying happiness and good fortune for the couple, right? So if you don't want to wear white, nobody's going to hold you to it, right? It's one of the top 2 favorite colors, as I mentioned. Most popular, as I said, with the flags next to blue. We saw that. And red districts all over sell sex and pornography in the European culture. As you know, we have in Amsterdam the red light district. I don't know if you're familiar with the red light district, but I have a funny story. So if you come to class on Red Day, you will get the funny story. And if I don't remember, please remind me, because it is quite funny when it comes to, I couldn't wait to go to the red light district, right? We said it's the most popular color in China. Interesting enough, in Asian stock markets, it's exactly the opposite of us. So red denotes a rise in stock prices. In North America, red denotes a drop. So it's opposite. So I can usually tell the mood of the house with how much red is on the screen or green. It would be opposite if we were in a different culture, obviously. Now, there are claims that red raises your blood pressure. It actually does something internally to your system. So, interesting enough, I put a video on that captures this, talks about the physics of it, and it gives you a lot of different variations, as we talked about with pink. When does pink really turn into red, right? it's a strong color, but its immediate effects are only temporarily known. Doesn't necessarily apply to everyone. Red means beautiful in Russia, but remember that color has an intrinsic meaning for all of us, but it can be overridden by our own personal experiences, right? We talked about that. So it's kind of cool. And I mentioned that my neighbor has a red house, and it is known to capture your attention. So if you want to capture someone's attention, what are you going to use? Red. We can use this in all industry, from marketing to fashion. It explains the use of fire red engines, stop signs to trigger maybe alertness, wake up. It's visible most after yellow. It's the most visible color after yellow. And it does, again, capture our attention. 8% of males are colorblind, and they have a red-green color vision deficiency. So they couldn't see red at all. Pretty wild, right? So when we think about the red, barns and things that capture our attention, it's pretty interesting. So I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about red. I really do think that if you watch the videos, it will help. And we have finished, actually, the last color before our midterm exam. So I hope you've enjoyed a little history of the color of red. Thanks.